Morning, peeps. I'm back. And I have made a transfer. My first transfer for probably a month when you take into account the 2-week international break. I did have 3 transfers saved up. I've used the first one already, and I've taken out João Pedro and replaced him with not Matata like everybody else is doing. Everybody's buying Matata this week, aren't they? Well, I'm taking the opportunity to actually change my structure. And if you watched my video the other day where I was talking about how football has changed, we'll have a bit more of a talk on that in a second. You know, how football's changed, how everything's pointing towards strikers being less influential this season. Then I've taken the first steps to actually put my thoughts into action, because there's no point just talking about it without acting upon it. So I have acted. I've taken out João Pedro and replaced him with Gw. And the transfers to be followed up with at this stage look like being Rodon out to Gabriel. You can see here that Leeds, although Rodon's done very well, how often would I use him? I mean, away at Brighton, he's on my bench. Away at Forest, he'd be on the bench. Villa, away at City. Then Chelsea, Liverpool, Brentford away, Palace at home, Sunderland away, Liverpool, Man United, Newcastle. I mean, they're awful. I mean, I can't see me starting him in any of those games. So that's over like 10 weeks. So although it's nice to have a 4 million option on the bench, now that I'm switching formation, I need to have all of my defenders playing in quite a few weeks. So he'll be coming out for Gabriel. He will be going straight in. And the other transfer, I was looking at Minty for Stack, but I was so impressed with Sarr tonight. He played 60 minutes against the Liverpool B team, but he was fantastic. You know, he got 2 goals. He had other shots. He had like 6 more shots than João Pedro's had in the last 6 weeks. He hasn't had any. So I was so impressed with him. And the fact that everybody's bringing in Matata, I thought, well, why not do Reinders to Sarr? You know, I mean, I know he's going off to AFCON, but that's not until like game week 17, which is a long, long time away. There he is. So we'll put Sarr in. So now that transfer of João Pedro out is immediately having benefits in that I've finally got Gabriel. I've got Sarr in my team. Midfield suddenly looking a lot brighter. And at least I don't have a benching headache over Rodon and Senesi. So I put it there. So that's likely to be my team this week. The only downside of it is if Anderson isn't fit, instead of having Reinders, I will have to bring on Senesi away at Man City. But he should be guaranteed of defensive contributions at least if he does come on. So, I was talking about the change in the game. Well, here's further evidence. Oh, where's it gone? Ah, here, peeps. Right. An article by Tony Paulis, who used to be manager at Stoke, and even then was seen as a bit of a dinosaur. And he's kind of saying that 2008 Stoke, like the way that they played, is now back in vogue. So he's feeling very happy with himself. He's even got a new column on BBC Sport called Going Direct. So this is more evidence. Every single day it seems to be that articles are coming out saying how play in the Premier League has changed. It's no more kind of, you look at Pep with his kind of ticky-tacky mincing about at the back and kind of pass, possession. That's all gone now. It's like goal kicks, throw-ins, set pieces. And it does seem to be that way. You know, everybody's now saying it. Here's the set pieces in the Premier League this season. You can see it's at nearly 28%. goals coming from set pieces. Previous years it's been like 21%, so it's quite a big shift. I mean, obviously it's not so huge that it could be an anomaly, but when you look at the way they're playing, it doesn't appear that it is an anomaly, and it should stick about. There's another one down here. He's talking about Stoke, look, and old Maresca was joking the other day, wasn't he? He said if he wanted to take long throws, he'd get Delap's father back in, because he was the king of the long throw, wasn't he? So here's the goals from corners in major leagues. So normally it's 12%. This is last season, 12%. This season it's 18%. And you can see that every other league in Europe, the major leagues, it's all gone up this season. It's like they're all doing it. You know, it's like there's been a change, a fundamental change in the way the game is being played. And I was on the pubcast this morning talking about this, and FPL Salah was kind of agreeing, and basically we came to the conclusion that it's now everything in our game is now in favour of central defenders. You know, all these free kicks, corners, everything all plays into the defender's hands, as does the bonus system, the new assist rules, and the DEFCON points. You know, I said all this on my video the other day, but it's just all reinforcing what I said, basically. So everyone's at it. You know, we got Thomas Frank's well known, isn't he? And a lot of managers now embracing this. And Arsenal, goal scored from corners in 5 big European leagues since 2023. And Arsenal are so far ahead, it's just ridiculous. You know, they'd probably double a lot of teams, but even against the best, you know, they're like a third ahead. Absolutely ridiculous. And this is why, reluctantly, I've been kind of forced into buying Gabriel, because it's not just a case of always having a purple patch, he's going to go back to normal, because I don't think he is. I think this is a new normal. You know, these flick-ons, he's going to, every time there's a corner, his head's going to come up and the ball will graze a couple of hairs on his head and it'll bounce around and someone will score and he'll be given the assist for it. Or, you know, we saw Van der Ven with 2 goals the other day. Gabriel could easily do it against Burnley. So I just cannot not have him. It's very unfortunate that I've waited so long and had to pay an extra $500,000 for him. But it's something that has to be done, I think. It has to be done. I mean, everything has changed. And have a look at this, peeps. Look. This is the transfers out this week, to change the subject slightly. João Pedro this week has had nearly 700,000 transfers out. What does that tell you about how many people are actively playing this game? Because there's like 700,000 taking them out already, and it's only like Wednesday, Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. And you wouldn't think that more than half teams, you wouldn't think more than half active managers have taken him out already this week, would you? Which means there's at least 1.5 million playing the game. I mean, a lot of people didn't even own him. So I reckon there must be about 2 or 3 million maybe playing the game actively. Let's say 25% of all active managers have taken out João Pedro. That means there's like 3 million playing the game, which at least, maybe even more. But that's huge. Look, 700k, and the next one's 136,000. 130 for Gyökeres. So I mean, he was very heavily owned, but he's been absolutely smashed. Absolutely smashed. I took him out today because there was a slight chance he might have dropped in price. I think he was minus 90% on the price change sites, which is close enough. Sometimes they drop before they're supposed to. It wasn't worth taking the risk because I had the exact money. So Reinders, 250,000 have taken out Reinders, which is an awful lot as well, because unlike João Pedro, I don't think many would have begun the season with Reinders, so he would have been a lot less owned to start with. But even so, like 250,000 people have taken him out. People are still taking out Salah. And Virgil van Dijk, who I think is possibly a mistake to be taking out Virgil van Dijk. I can see why people are doing it to get Gabriel in, but they've got great fixtures coming up. But Liverpool, what a shambles. I mean, they lost, was it 3-0 today against Palace? But I mean, it was a C team, basically. And they made no effort to bring on their best players. Even when they were 2-0 down, it was like they didn't really care. They wanted out of the competition by the sound of it. So let's see who the most heavily transferred in are this week. Who do you reckon it's going to be, peeps? I guess I guess Mateta. It might be Gabriel or Van der Ven. Let's have a look. 237,000 Gabriel. I mean, the reason I thought it might not be Gabriel is because so many people already have him, don't they? So 234,000 bought Gabriel in. Wow. 800,000. That's even more than have taken out João Pedro. So 800,000 have bought Bumo. That's incredible. It's going to be well over 1 million, isn't it, by the deadline? It either shows that everybody's a Man United fan or there's a lot more people playing this game than we think. They're not mucking about, are they? Not mucking about. 800,000. And 400,000 on Mateta. I wonder how many's on Sarr. So he's quite a differential Sarr, isn't he? Less than 100,000. Most people go in the Mateta route. But like I said, for my own team, more important was to change the actual structure of my team. A lot of people already had Gw and playing with 2 strikers anyway. So I'm just moving to the same scenario as them, basically. But I can't get Mateta because I've got Gyökeres, who is looking a bit of a differential now because so many people don't have him anymore. But that's amazing. Wait a minute, I haven't been paying attention to this. Maybe it's the same every week. So, okay, so I'll have a look on Reddit, see what's happening there. Now, Ben Crellin, because Palace beat Liverpool, there's a fair chance now that in game week 17, 4 teams are missing. And those teams are Palace, Leeds, Arsenal, and Everton. Palace, Leeds, Arsenal, Everton. And you will know that those teams are very, very highly owned, aren't they? A lot of people got Leeds players on their bench. Most people have got 3 Arsenal. Most people are going to have 2 or 3 Palace. So like people are going to have like 7 or 8 players that might have a blank in game week 17. And that would be fantastic for this game. It would really liven things up, wouldn't it? I mean, obviously, if you've got a free hit, you're going to be good. If you don't have a free hit, you're going to have to be quite creative in what you're doing. I mean, we do have an extra 5 free transfers by then, but you don't really want to be using them up, especially as probably at the start of the second half of the season. If this does happen, there will be a double game week at some stage involving Arsenal, and someone said it could be on game week 16 before the actual blank. And if that happened, I think Arsenal will be playing Wolves and Everton. People are already talking about triple captaining. That's another thing. If you've got your triple captain and there is a double, You could do really well on that. Triple captain Gabriel against Wolves and Everton. Or is it Wolves and Leeds? No, I think it's Wolves and Everton. But apparently, though, it might not happen at all. I mean, Ben Crennan says it seems likely. Harry was saying it's only 20% likely to happen. Well, the truth is none of them know, really. But according to this, they could solve the problem by forcing Palace to play on the 18th of December, the 21st of December, the 24th of December, and the 26th and the 27th. Well, with Christmas Day on the 25th, I don't think they'd do that to them, would they? They wouldn't make them play on Christmas Eve and like the 27th. Surely not. Surely not. But it's possible that's what they do because it's Palace. You know, if it was Liverpool or one of the big clubs, they probably wouldn't do that to them. You know, they'd complain and it would get changed. Whereas Palace, you know, we've already seen them getting booted out of a European competition. So they don't get treated very well. So maybe they will be forced to play 4 matches in about 9 or 8 days or whatever it is. But as it's standing, there is a good chance we're going to get a blank game week. Price changes today. Haaland went up 14.8 now. And I'll tell you what, I've just got that feeling he's going off the boil and that City are going off the boil. And it's going to make things interesting. You know, another 2 blanks from Haaland and people are suddenly going to get itchy feet. They're going to think they can get away with it, you know. Maybe they can. Maybe we will see a repeat of last season where he just drops right away. He always starts the season with a hiss and a roar, doesn't he? And maybe he's going to drop off, holding his back, moping about. So this is an interesting one. Like the casuals on Reddit, quite keen on Welbeck. Whereas if you look at all the online content from the content creators, Welbeck hardly gets a mention, does he? Hardly gets a mention, you know, but they're playing Leeds this week. He's scoring goals and he's reasonably cheap, but nobody's really mentioning Welbeck. Nobody's really mentioning him. So we'll see what happens this week. The only person they're talking about this week is Mateta. Anyway, Pete, so we're going to have one game of chess. And then that'd be it probably. You know, I wanted to come on and let you know I've made my first transfer. And the fact I might change to Sarr. You know, I'm not overly keen on Palace as such because of a heavy schedule. But I was quite pleased to see Sarr came off after 60 minutes. And maybe that is a sign that we are going to get a bit of rotation in some of these matches. Wow, I should have put my bishop there first. Bit of a boring old position here, peeps. We'll try and swing that rook across. I've got to be careful I don't get checkmated. Oh, he's attacking me a bit, isn't he? He's a bit aggressive. He's a little bit aggressive. He's thinking about whether he can smash me up. Which of course he can't. Right, let's have a look here. And then take that one. Take that one as well. Oh, I could have checked him. Damn. I could have won a piece. Idiot. Oh, nearly stuffed up. Right, bishop versus knight. I'm going to put this on the dark square. Oh, I can't do that, can I? I've messed up. I should have won this game. Put that on the dark square, then you can't get it. Ha ha. I've got double pawns. You see those 2 pawns that are like stuck on the same? They're really bad. They're never good having double pawns like that. Look, he's left his piece on. He's forgotten about his pawn. Shit, look at the clock. I'm going to lose this game. Let's just run that pawn. Damn. How am I going to... Oh, I can't... No, I can't get on the square. There. It's a draw. Yeah, I went on time. Oh. I was going to win. Look, my position's won. I'm going to get a new queen. That one was exciting, wasn't it? It was for me. Hearts pounding away, Pete's pounding away. Anyway, I'll talk to you all later. I'll be back with a final decision on my transfers. Luckily, I think I can wait another few days. I don't think Gabriel's going to go up again. I don't think Sar's going to go up, or Reinders is going to go down. And even if Reinders goes down, it doesn't affect my selling price. And in fact, Rodon, maybe Rodon could actually go up. If Rodon went up before the deadline, I'd actually make 0.1. Let's see if he is or not. Rodon, where is he? No, he's not going up. I was hoping more people would be buying him because of his big score this week. But of course, they'll all be buying Van der Ven, won't they? Anyway, peeps, I'll talk to you all later. So cheers for now. And I'll see you in a day or two. So bye then, peeps.